Vandeham Sri Guru.
Talk different things and come to the point where we talked about different meditation modalities. And then we tried different types of meditations. And I've impressed upon, I guess, the crowd who came that among the different modalities, mantra meditation is the most effective because it brings the mind focused much better. Number two, it is something that is applicable anywhere you go versus, let's say, closed eye meditation, right? I wouldn't recommend it while driving or crossing the street or something like that. But mantra, regardless, you can be anywhere, doing anything, and still be able to connect with a higher dimensional reality. So that's how we've built to this day that we take some time to actually do the mantra meditation. Yeah? So we will do that now, and then we'll have a few discussions. So, start easy. Steph, you have your beads. Did you take a set of beads with you when you have them with you?
I didn't bring it.
Okay. Please make it a habit to bring, so then, because each week when we do this, better to have beads. Okay. So we're going to do this mantra meditation, the Hare Krishna mantra. You know the Hare Krishna mantra? Okay. So we will do this together for some time, and then we'll talk about it. Okay. Ready? We hold the beads from this one between the middle finger and thumb. Okay. You're ahead of us. Let's go. Ready? Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama. Very good. A few folks joined us a little later. Your names, please?
Swasti Ranjan.
Swasti Ranjan. This is your first time?
No.
No, you've come here in the past. Okay, Swasti.
Udit.
Udit. Okay.
Bal.
Bal. B-A-L?
A-N.
Bal. Okay. So thank you for joining us. For not the three of you or Arun, but the others who were here for the first time when we did mantra meditation and you took beads, is that something you've been doing every day? Like spending some time? Do you want to share? Stephanie, you want to share some experience? How it feels? This is something new for you, right?
Well, yeah. I did some chants in the past, some mantras in the past. But it's great to have like a consistent, like not every day. I have to admit, it hasn't been every day.
Okay.
But anyway, 3 times a week.
4 days a week?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
But yeah, it is calming. Like I do it before I go to bed after I take a shower, and it helps me like release some of the things that I've been through throughout the day. And it's been like better. Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, thank you.
No, I'm not big on it.
Okay.
I'll probably do it.
That was one of the conditions for giving the beads.
I know.
You can return the beads otherwise. Stephanie, a little change to feel like the full effect or better effect of the mantra is when you wake up in the morning and the first thing before you do anything else, like brush and all the shower and all that, that's the first thing to do is this, and you see how it takes you throughout the day.
Should I do it before I go to bed too, or should I like do it in the morning?
More is better,
Okay.
but before you begin the day,
Uh-huh.
it's a whole different experience. I wake up in the morning, and for the first, I've been practiced doing it a lot more. So the first 2 hours of my day goes in this, and it gives a whole different perspective to the day. I feel more energetic, strong, things are clear for me, I'm efficient, I can do a bunch of things during the day. I mean, those are just side benefits, but the whole idea is this is I mean, that's not the main reason why we chant mantra, but okay. Obstacles to concentration, part 2. So part 1, what all did you cover?
The 6 obstacles. We talked mostly about lust. And how that the body conception of life affects us. Absorption, thinking, feeling, willing. Weakness.
Okay, do you remember the 6 obstacles? Who were all there? Raise a hand. Oh, you were there last time as well. Oh, fantastic. So just let's start the 6.
Lust.
Be confident. Say it loud.
Lust. Greed.
Anger.
Yeah, this is not a problem for most of us, right? We're okay. This one.
Jealousy.
Huh?
Jealousy. This comes.
Okay.
Pride.
Pride. Very good. How about searching Google?
No, I got it.
Okay, what's the
It's
6th
a
one?
PowerPoint.
What's the 6th one?
Pride, madness.
When we say madness, actually it's generally we say
Illusion.
illusion. We'll come to this illusion part later.
Don't have a.
You have a 7th one?
Yeah, like what about external stimuli? Like when you do something, all of a sudden you hear a sound, or maybe someone comes in, and doesn't that take you away? Isn't that an obstacle to concentration?
Yeah, true. That is true. All of that falls in this one. In illusion. That's why I said illusion, we'll talk about it later.
Do you want to quickly see what I covered? Or?
Okay. First of all, why should we even talk about this?
We want to concentrate.
We want to concentrate. Why talk about this? I mean, these are, the list is kind of the softer side of life. Why talk about this? Swasti, why talk about this?
I just would like to concentrate and do something good in life. And mainly I mean to concentrate, as I said, like do something do good in life or in a day. And to start a day with, like if you're not concentrated and if you don't have any aim to do, then something a day. So,
Okay. Someone else was saying something.
These are basically demons that we've got to destroy to feel Rama inside us.
Why talk about this? Aditya?
Channelize your mind into one particular, focusing your mind into one particular task rather than.
So one particular task, let's say, I have to get my homework done. Right? We all have something like that. I have my homework to do. So you come to VVS session to know how to help concentration so that you can do your homework, and we have to worry about these things. Is that the purpose?
How to block these things.
Yeah, but what I'm teaching is not how to get your mind sharpened so that you can concentrate and get your homework done. That's not my purpose. I'm not equipped to teach that. And I'll be cheating you if I promise you a concentration power for getting something very simple things of life done. I have to go from here to downtown Chicago, and just so that I don't get distracted from that, I need to know how to overcome lust and greed and anger. No. I'm not teaching the power of concentration. So when you read physics or chemistry, you will remember stuff. That's not what I'm teaching. Okay? And that's not what you should be learning from me either. That's not what I'm here for. Krishna, want to say something?
An answer.
Yeah.
Basically, we are all in the modes of material nature. Tamasic, Rajasic, Sattvic. So, getting rid of these will help us go towards Sattvic tendencies.
Okay.
And also it would help us to stay in that stage so that we could get the best out of our mantra meditation.
Yeah. What is this? A target. What's that center called? Bullseye. So, what is the main focus, the reason, what's the bullseye, that the reason for coming to VVS or inviting you to come to VVS and having these kinds of topics? The bullseye is to learn and hopefully have an appreciation for what's the goal of life. Okay? That's the goal of life, is what we're talking about. The goal of life is self-realization. It's not graduating from IIT, making money and becoming successful in life. All that may come about, may not come about. We're not interested in that. I'm not interested in that. Our goal, the bullseye, is to impress upon ourselves together that the goal of life is self-realization. And self-realization we define this way, simply put, to fully see, experience the potential of the soul. Because soul is who we are, the conscious living entity. And we want to experience the full capacity of that, who we are. Is that clear? If it is anything else that you're hoping to get, then you're wasting your time. That's not what I'm teaching. Okay? This is the goal of life, the bullseye. Now, we have, so we'll call this the spiritual, the target for what we're doing. In life, to get here, we may have to put a few things in place. You know, the emotional side of things. My writing is really bad, but I'm saying it so you know that's emotion. And generally, this is how our emotions are also, really not too well. This is the emotional side of things. Then is the mental aspect of life. The physical. So I may be very successful in life here, but I haven't hit the bullseye. My mind may be very strong, like I'm very focused at what I do, I'm very concentrated in my work. If I read something, I remember everything, blah blah, whatever. I'm still hitting very good target here, but I've missed the bullseye. I may have nice friendships with everyone, emotionally I'm stable, I don't have any like deep traumas and all of that. And I still be hitting very well here, but I still miss the bullseye if I've not understood what is the goal of life, the soul. To understanding the nature, the full capacity, and what the purpose of the soul, what its activities are, what the soul does, who we are, all of that. Clear? So that's why we have VVS, and that's why we come to VVS. That's why I come to VVS. So if you're here today hoping how to get your homework better, done better, then you're going to be disappointed. Okay. I'll keep reiterating. The goal of life is self-realization. And on the path to self-realization, these are our hurdles. us from the path of self-realization. If I have a ballistic, like in physics, if I have a little ballistic and it is moving towards the target, right, from a distance, then we say things that will detract or distract the ballistic from hitting the target are certain things. One is wind, resistance, friction, the weight of the ballistic, etc., etc. The speed, momentum, whatever. And all these things will determine whether we'll hit the target or not. Correct? Like that, our heart or our consciousness is where the soul's full expression is. And within that expression is mixed these things. So we can't realize, we can't appreciate the purity, the brightness, the knowledge, the happiness of the soul when these detractors are present. For example, let's take anger, just for the moment. I'm very happily going about doing my things and someone does something and I have this burst of anger. And gone. I've lost that moment of happiness or whatever I was dealing with. And I'm all focused on anger. Or greed or envy. You want to hear a story of envy? It's one of my favorite stories. I've shared this many times and I'll say it again. There were two friends. They're very, very close friends. They did everything together. Like they say, they were joined at the hip. Like that friends. Very fast friends. One night, an angel appeared in the dream of one of the friends. And he woke up dream and he saw this very beautiful looking, very angelic person. He said, I'm very happy with the friendship that you have with your friend. So I would like to give you 3 benedictions or boons. Choose whatever you want and you will get it. I said, oh, that's really good. Thank you. I said, but before you make your 3 wishes, I want you to know that whatever you ask for, I will give twice that to your friend. I said, oh yeah, that's great, that's great. We share everything anyway, so that's fine. So he said, oh, okay. So he said, I'll come for 3 nights in succession and you have to make your wishes. Yes. So he said, tonight, what would you like for? I said, oh, I'd like $1 million, please. $1 million showed up. And he was very happy. He couldn't sleep the rest of the night. He had to go tell his friend. So he ran to his friend's house. It was right next door. And as he was running, his friend was running towards him. He said, you can't believe something. I just got $1 million. He said, I was running to you to tell you something. I just found $2 million in my bed just like that. I don't know where it came from. Oh, they were very happy. So the second night, the angel whoever appeared and said, okay, wish number 2, please. And he said, oh, I'd like a 10-bedroom house with a nice front yard and a good, nice, big backyard. So he found himself in, bedroom number 10. So, oh, wow. Got down and ran, and now he had to run a lot farther because he had a big backyard. And his friend was running from the other. He said, oh, you can't believe I'm in a 20-bedroom house, and I have double the size of your backyard. So this guy said, what's going on? I'm making these wishes, and this fellow's getting twice that. I mean, he's my friend and all that, but something's not right. I said, I got to fix this one. Because I'm not able to manage the idea that somehow he does nothing, the angel comes in my dream, and he's just getting, benefit out of nothing. I said, I know how to fix this. So the 3rd night, when the angel appeared, he said, yes, you can ask your 3rd wish. He said, can you please cut off my right hand? So the angel said, are you sure? He said, no, please to cut off my right hand. He said, all right. Right hand went away. So now he wanted to see. So he ran to see his friend. And he was waving to his friend with his left hand. And his friend was walking to him, and he had no arms. Both his arms got cut off, and now he could smile. I may have 1 million and 10-bedroom house, but I have my left hand. So envy is such a thing that it can breed without our knowing right in our heart, and it detracts us from the whole path of self-realization, for example. Like that. So these things come from the very, very core idea what I think Avello covered last week, called bodily concept of life. Did you cover that? Yeah. So bodily concept of life means to think, I am this body. I have said this many times, right? I am a male from Chicago, and I am whoever I am, or I am, someone else might think I am female from whichever, Timbuktu, and I am such and such, and whoever I am. And when these identities get clashed with another identity, we have a problem. But the more we train our consciousness to see ourselves and others from the perspective of the soul, that's who we really are, and the soul has no good qualities, bad qualities, whatever. It's just pure, happy, and full of knowledge. A lot of the problems go away. I mean, they don't just vanish. We have to work at it. It's not like a flip of switch and it's not like that. One has to work at it. And that's called the spiritual conception of life. So there's a bodily conception of life that comes with the baggage of those 6 things. And then there is the spiritual conception of life that is free of these things. In the Bible, there's a aphorism, hate the sin, not the sinner. Or we say, generally we have a problem. We slap on labels to people. Such and such person is a bad person. The label is that we take their bad quality and make it their identity. Or take their so-called good quality and make that their identity. But that's not who they are. So when we learn to see things separate, could you turn down the vibrate mode, or turn it off, or whoever, everyone. Thank you. These are labels. These are like masks. And these masks don't make who we are. These masks are separate from who we are. A common example, is this easy to relate, is the clothes that we are wearing. I am not this sweatshirt. But I do think the bodily concept is that I think I'm a sweatshirt. So if I'm walking and I get a little nail and the sweatshirt tears, oh my gosh, my new sweatshirt. I cry as if I'm actually bleeding or something. But it's just a sweatshirt. But I assign value to it. And this sweatshirt, as we wear it, it fades and becomes old. We don't know. We may throw it away and get a new one. Similarly, the soul has these coverings called the body. Today we have this kind of body. In a previous life we had that kind of body. In the next life we'll have some other kind of body. They're like sweatshirt, a covering. But the main purpose is to go back and understand that we are the soul. And this is easily forgotten. I'm very sure at 2:30 when we're done, we have lunch and we walk out the door, we'll forget it. In fact, if you remember it, I'll be very surprised. Because I have a tendency to forget too. So when we meet, it's the same thing that's re-emphasized again and again, hoping that it will stick with us. And we will operate, we'll look at life from the vantage point of the soul, not the vantage point of the body. But it's so ingrained in us. So we have to train ourselves, or we have to become trained by someone who has that perspective. Yeah? So, back to bullseye is the reason we're talking of concentration is not to get our homework done very well. Is not to get the 4.0 GPA. I can't help you with that. I mean, I can, but that's not why I'm here. I won't. So, on the path of self-realization, we'll take greed. Next time we'll do anger. We did the power presentation for anger here? We didn't, right?
Yeah.
This semester we did. So no need to cover anger. Greed. How would you define greed? Raise your hand so I can call upon someone. Yes?
Asking for more and more.
Our interest towards something.
Raise your hand. Asking for more and more.
Yeah.
Okay?
You're never satisfied.
Nah. There you go. That's the operating. Asking for more and more, that the one is never satisfied with how much ever they get. You had something to say?
Our interest towards something.
Over interest towards something.
Like to get it more.
There's a different word for it in Sanskrit. It's called prayasa. Working very hard to get something material. Mal?
Wanting to get something which you don't actually need.
Greed is wanting to get something that you don't
Need actually need.
Okay, let me ask. What is it that we really need? What does a human being need?
Kapda, dhoti, function. Fine.
Kapda, dhoti, makan. I'm the only one with the dhoti here. Kapda, roti or So what do we need? What do we need in life?
Some basic necessities for survival. Like,
Wait for a minute. She's translating kapra, roti kapra, makan. Stephanie. I'm
conflict.
sorry, you're a little, our friend Ed had similar things. Sometimes we would suddenly say something and like, whoa, everyone would laugh, and except Ed would be like, what's going on? It was not intentional, it was something he said. So what do we need? Okay, Krishna, repeat the answer.
Some basic necessities for survival.
Some
We need
basic
food.
necessities for survival. Like what?
Food.
iPad. Yeah, we can't survive without an iPhone, right, Arun? Right. So food, iPhone, what else? Huh?
Air.
Air. Okay, so let's just for the humor part of it, let's make that list. Can someone write that list down for me? Willow can type it on his iPad. Okay, so air. What else do we need? Water?
Yes.
Coca-Cola? Whatever. Water. Arun, you were going to say something. I was making a joke.
Like food.
Food. Okay. Clothes. Some people will argue in California that you don't need them. But we'll put that on the list.
Shelter.
Money.
Shelter.
Shelter.
Money.
Money. That's the honey. I'm not asking for a list of what we want. I'm asking for a list of what we need.
That's it.
That's about it.
Relationships.
Relationships. Okay, very good. Did you type that in?
Happiness.
We're making a list of what
Yeah,
we
no.
need. I mean, I'm not Santa, but I'm just asking, what are some of the list of things that we need in life? What are some needs in life?
Right.
Huh?
Right.
What? I didn't ask you to answer. I'm just saying that's what we're discussing. So hold on. If you want to say something, raise your hand. Raj?
Happiness.
Happiness. You need happiness?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, in this
Fine. Well, we'll add that. Explain yourself. We need pride.
We want that everybody respect us and all these things. So that make us happy.
That's not what we need. That's what we want. We want that everyone should be very happy with us and respect us. But that's not what we really need.
Peace.
To feel
Peace. Okay?
Microwave.
Of course, microwave. I mean, between happiness and microwave oven, I'd rather take the microwave.
Roommates to share rent.
That's a want.
Love, care.
Yeah, he said relationships. Anything else we need?
Definitely washing machine, microwave oven, these all necessities now.
Yeah.
Practically.
Knowledge.
You need knowledge?
At least you should be
Wisdom
aware of what is
Satisfaction.
Wisdom is actually something that's could be.
Vela?
T-shirt.
We don't need
Huh?
We don't need one.
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction.
You will.
Although satisfaction is not a need per se, it's an affect.
Yeah.
You understand? If you have the basic needs, satisfaction comes along. If you pursue satisfaction, here's a problem. You don't know what you're pursuing. Things like satisfaction and happiness, they are abstract. And when people pursue them, they can neither feel satisfied nor happy because they don't know what they're running after. So they try different things. It's called trial and error. So more there's trial, there's as much error. Because we're trying to find different things that will satisfy. Okay, so greed, we're discussing greed. What is greed? What would you say is greed?
It doesn't have any limit for greed. What we get, you just feel it is less. That's the greed.
What is your name?
Samadhan.
Samadhan. What's yours?
Nisarg.
Nisarg. So greed is defined as, in Sanskrit the word is lobha. It is this intense desire or intense hankering to gain something or some things. And how much ever one gets, one is not satisfied with it. Like there is no upper limit. There's no upper limit. To whatever that thing is, one is greedy about. And then greed comes, but because we say one will not be satisfied. So let's dig a little deeper and ask, why is a person not satisfied? What do you think? What is the reason a person is not satisfied? There are many reasons. We're getting a little into the emotional things here, and I'm usually scared to get there, but why is one not satisfied?
Comparison with other people. You have a shirt, someone has a nicer shirt, so you want that. And someone else has a better shirt. So
Okay, so one is always looking in relation to or comparing with others.
The root of the problem isn't solved. It's just a symptom that's temporary.
My question is, why is a person not satisfied? And your answer is,
The remedies they're looking for in satisfaction are only remedies for the symptoms of the root.
would you agree with that? What is the root of the problem?
It's like when you saw something, when you feel like having that thing, you have that. Even after having that, you set some new target. So the target keeps changing, but you never realize that you are like always running behind something. It's like a rat race.
So yeah, I totally agree. What do you think is the root cause?
It's going for the first object. Like when you feel like running for the first object is the problem. Like if you could restrain yourself for getting one thing, you can restrain yourself for getting other thing as well.
Okay, interesting. Fine.
Root causes marriage.
I think you and I need to have a separate conversation, just one-on-one. just for...
Don't know what is required or what is the target.
We don't know what the target is. Explain a little bit, because there is some truth in what you said. But it's not, I wouldn't use the words, our problem is marriage.
Because in marriage you become responsible for
The problem is not responsible. Why?
You know your capacity, like how much you get. You expect more than that.
Or do you want to take a stab? I'm just... churning conversation here.
See, I don't know. I never think about it.
Okay.
The need to need things.
Huh?
The need to need things.
The need to need things.
Would it be like a fear of being without? That you're always chasing something
Yeah.
and scared that you won't have?
That is true. That is, as I said, at an emotional level. So let's look at the different levels of it. Okay. At the physical level, the greed is not satisfied because one always looks at what other person has. And in general, the modern idea is more is better. That's the modern idea. The more is better. That is why anyone shopped at Costco here? You know what is Costco? Yeah, that's the principle. More is better. Because they think it's cheaper, oh, more is better. You end up buying 6 gallons of laundry detergent that you really don't need so much, but you buy because it's, oh, per ounce it is cheaper, like that. At a physical level, that's the idea. More is better. And that's what we hear, we see every day. At a mental level, the greed comes from, you repeat what was the idea?
Fear.
The fear that, oh, if I don't have enough, what will happen? And whatever I have may not be enough. At an emotional level, that fear becomes deeper. One feels that one's whole sense of being is defined by how much they have. And the more they have, they feel a sense of security. It's a sense of being, a sense of identity. But the emotional, mental and physical, like Abelo said, these are just symptoms. So as long as we try to address only the symptoms may go, but the symptoms can also come back. So we have to solve it at the root level. The reason a person manifests greed is because they are not satisfied. And the lack of satisfaction at the level of the soul is that they don't have anything what the soul is asking for, really. What the soul actually needs or is all about is a relationship with the Supreme. If that relationship is established, then at the level of emotion, mental, physical, all these needs are not there. The greed goes away. Let's look at the life of great saints. Those great saints, whoever, across religions, they're just so satisfied with the least of things. Because that's not what they're looking for. Whether they had anything to eat or not, didn't matter. Whether they had anything to wear or not, roti, kapda or makan, didn't even matter. Because they had something which was a great treasure. I'll tell you a story. In our Vaishnav tradition, there is a great saint by the name Sanatan. And he was like the chief minister, or the governor, if you will, of a very, very successful Muslim king. This is about 1500s. And he was so successful that his annual income was a little over 2 million gold coins each year. Okay? It's not even $2 million because dollars really means nothing. 2 million gold coins, this is actual value. Each, and for many, many years, very successful. And when he moved on the path of self-realization and hit the bullseye, for him these things didn't matter anymore. He used to live under a tree and barely wore anything, and if sometimes he would pick up discarded pieces of cloth and wear that. But at the level of the soul, he was completely satisfied. Completely satisfied. Now for us this is a stretch of imagination because it's almost like fantasy for us because we can't relate to it. So just stay with me through the historical story. So it came to known that he's a very realized person, and it became very popular that somehow Sanatan has great wealth, and he's happy to give his wealth to others. That was the rumor that spread throughout the land. One person who wanted some money from that, some wealth, he said, I'll go meet Sanatan. And he came searching for Sanatan. And he asked different people, where can I find him? I said, you'll find him in the land called Vrindavan. And he went to Vrindavan. And there he asked, where's Sanatan? He said, you'll find him such and such place. And went looking for him. And Sanatan was sitting peacefully under a tree, just satisfied. So he went and said to him, Sanatan, I heard that you have great wealth. Specifically, you have what's called a touchstone. You know what's a touchstone? A touchstone is this stone, somehow it has this characteristic that if you touch it to any metal, the metal transforms to gold. He said, I heard you have a touchstone. In Sanskrit, it's called Vaidurya. You have a touchstone. And I heard that you are happy to give it away. I would like to take it. Can you please give it to me? So Sanatan said, I have no use for it. You can take it. Okay, where can I find it? You see the garbage pile there? It's in the dumpster. You can take it. So this man went, rummaged through the garbage. Anyone rummage through garbage over there? Have you seen homeless people rummage through garbage? For what? A little piece of bread or something that someone threw away. Like that, he rummaged through the garbage pile and picked out this stone. And he wanted to make sure it worked, so he touched a few things and it was transformed into gold. Wow, he was very happy. So he thanked Sanatan and went away. And as he went home, he was touching everything and everything was transforming to gold, and he was like happy like anything. But by the time it was afternoon, he had a little doubt in his mind. What doubt would you think he had?
More such stones.
Why was it in garbage bag?
Very good. Why was, if this is so valuable, and it is transforming things into gold, why is it in the garbage bin? Sanatan was not fully honest with me. He has something else that is more valuable that he is not telling me what it is. Right? Because you don't put your valuables in the garbage. You keep your valuables safely, and what you don't need, you put in the garbage. So he said, whoa. So he was not fully honest with me. There's something else that he has, that he hasn't given me. So he went back to Sanatan and he challenged him. He said, I know you're a very great saint and all that, but something's not right. Why did you give it to me? Why did you throw this in the garbage? That means you have something else that is far more valuable, that is keeping you so happy that this touchstone has no value for you. I would like to have that. Then Sanatan told him, all right, I'm happy to give that also to you. But first you have to throw this touchstone into the river. What would you do? Don't have to answer. I'm just saying. There was like this crossroad. They're always on some crossroad, right? What to do? He said, well, on one hand, if I put it in the river, I'll lose this touchstone. On the other, he definitely has something very valuable. What to do? So he debated a little bit. I said, all right, I'll bite the bullet. And he threw the stone into the river. And he said to Sanatan, please tell me, what is that wealth? And you believe it or not, what Sanatan gave him was the Hare Krishna mantra. And he told him, this is my wealth. With this, I'm completely satisfied. I don't aspire for anything else. Because within the Hare Krishna mantra, as I am every day chanting it, my connection with the Supreme is so sublime that I don't care for this stone, that stone. It's just not valuable for me. I said to you that the reason we chant is not The reason is, by calling on the names, the Hare Krishna, our connection with the Supreme is intensified. That when that relationship is there, everything else really doesn't matter. Not that there is no place for things in life. Like, I would be a hypocrite if I said to you that, well, I don't wear, I don't need clothes or food or house or car to move. That's not the point. Those things are there, but they don't form the core of my life or our lives or a person's who's. If this focus is clear. If this is not clear, then the other things have to be there for a sense of value. That's how greed is solved. You have to cut it at the root. To establish a relationship with the Supreme. Move on the path of self-realization. Actually start something. Otherwise, try whatever you can. If you say the first thing that I'm determined not to do it, a nanosecond later, that's where the mind will go. Because the mind is highly agitated by, who said stimuli? Someone talked about stimuli. Yeah. Constantly stimulated. That's how greed is taken care of. I was going to tell you another story about him. I forgot. Just evaporated. If it comes back, we'll see. Any questions so far? Something?
What is the wrong in the greed if it is in the limit? Because it's going to
Greed by definition cannot be limited. I said it, there is no upper limit. Try. Can you tell me one thing where a person says, this is my limit?
So that way he can make progress because he has greed, so he can try for that to achieve that things in life.
One can progress in life without greed. In fact, real progress in life is made without greed. When there is greed, one cannot progress. One moves backwards. Can you give me one example of a person who was greedy and is successful?
How closely related are the words?
Let me finish. One thought at a time. I'm a very simple human being and I can't manage so many together. What was your point?
How closely are the words ambition and greed related?
Yeah, well, that's for us to know. Ambition, what are we aspiring for, defines whether it is greed or not. If our ambition is for something on the physical plane or the mental plane, I should have drawn an intellectual plane as well. It is still greed. Okay? So that's one. There is something about matter. In principle, there is a characteristic about matter. There are laws, right? We all are operating under material laws. Anyone feeling that we are not operating under any law? Right? We are operating under certain laws. So laws of matter. Among the many laws, the first law is all matter is temporary. That's first. Second, it's called the law of diminishing marginal returns. Anyone take economics course here? This is first thing they teach you in economics. Law of diminishing marginal returns. Very simply, what this means is every unit extra that you consume of something material as you do, it gives you smaller units of satisfaction or happiness. So first example is chewing gum. I talked about this in the past. You take a stick of chewing gum, the first bite is burst of flavor. The second is also nice, and you keep chewing. Ideally, the more you chew, the happier you should become. Is it true for chewing gum? No. The more you chew, it comes to a point where you have to spit it out. You can't keep it in your mouth anymore. Or let's say pizza or whatever. The first pie or slice is really nice. Second, feels good. Third, fourth, you can't go beyond, well, there's no upper limit, but some people have, it comes to a point where the very mention of the word pizza makes you feel like you want to throw up. I haven't found that limit for myself yet, but I believe it's there somewhere. You understand? So when these laws are operating, you try to work against these laws, calling it ambition. What happens? What happens when you work against the law? 40 miles per hour speed limit or school zone, 20 miles per hour. You say, hey, I have a fast car. I want to drive it the way I like. What happens when you act against the law?
You get a ticket for the
You get a ticket.
punishment.
Adrenaline drive, fantastic.
You cannot do that anymore.
You face, you get many things. You get high risk, right? You're accepting very high risk. Second, you're forced by the law. Right? You're forced. You can't do it. You may get away first time, second time, or maybe 10 times. But the law will catch up. And the third thing is, if you act against the law, the ambition that we have, the hope is killed. But the best way to move about is to follow the law. Right? If you follow the law, you can move anywhere in the US or the world without a problem. Correct? If you follow, let's say, speed limit and good driving habits, nobody will stop you. In fact, they will say, please drive. Similarly, when you follow these laws, when you understand these laws, then you can freely move about in life. Otherwise, you're always trying to work against the law. You're losing time and energy in trying to just work around the laws. I'll may not be applicable to Stephanie, but for most faces in the room, we came as what we call non-immigrant aliens. True? That's what we're called. Anyone not like that? Most of us are like that. We've come from a different country to get education here. So the main purpose, just for analogy's sake, so that's the purpose. Career, education, degree, whatever. But for some reason, if we have financial difficulties, we have financial difficulties, we have other situations happening, and let's say we break the law. We work illegally or something, we break the law. How much time and energy goes in trying to rectify that situation while the rest of the semester is moving? So we spend energy, time, effort, mental power, all of this, consulting, website, Google search, just trying to avert and rectify the situations. Right? And time's moving. And we think, oh, what a life. But that's not living life if you're missing the bullseye in this example. So like that, there's purpose to life. The goal of life is self-realization. To forget that would be to work in this realm. Okay, I'm going to pause here, have lunch, and then we'll move on. If you have more questions you want to talk, we'll do it more casually during lunch. We need a couple of volunteers to help